Hello everyone, now I'm going to show you how to control your robot car using a Bluetooth module. So this is the HC-05 Bluetooth module and it has 6 pins. For this activity we'll be using only 4 of the pins which are in the which will not use are the state pin and the EN pin. So the Bluetooth module can work as a slave state as well as a master state. So by default it will be in a slave state, and we can also set it to master state. So so the Bluetooth module is will be connected by your phone, and from the phone, whatever signal we send, it will be received to the a Bluetooth module. The Bluetooth module converts that signal and sends it to the Arduino board, which is technically right here the motor shield, and converts and sends the signal to the motors right here. So for making the um, app for the Bluetooth module, I will later on explain in the video. And for this activity I've used two batteries because the Bluetooth module requires a constant stable power supply. If the power supply is not stable, the Bluetooth module will not receive signals properly from the phone, and the motors may not work. So for this activity, I have connected two battery snappers, which are right here, and um, for the HC-05, I have connected it to the servo pins which are at the topmost corner, and I have not used the no, those newly soldered pins in the motor shield, and I'll later on explain the code in the video. Thank you. This is the code for my Bluetooth module, and for this activity I have included two libraries, which are Adafruit Motor library and the software serial library. So the Adafruit Motor library should be installed by the library tab, and the software serial library should be installed from it will already be installed by the Arduino IDE itself, so no need of installation. And this is the just like AF underscore DC motor, I have written here software serial BT serial for the Bluetooth serial communication, and the pins are 10 and 11 on the servo motor. In the void setup, I have just like the serial dot begin, I have written a BT serial dot begin to set up the to keep the baud rate between the mobile and the Bluetooth module at 9600. And this is the set speed for the motor 1 and motor 2, and by default it will be at release so that it won't move anymore. And this is the void loop, just the usual. If bt serial dot available, it'll enter this it'll create this variable called command, and uh, start doing these serial dot read, which is right here, bt serial dot read, and it'll print the command in the uh, serial monitor, which is at the laptop. And it's just optional for the serial monitor. You can either keep it or remove it. It just doesn't make any difference. And this is the switch loop, wherein it's a new C component code, wherein we give some command, and it goes to different cases, and it also has a has a word called default, which always keeps it in this state, and if any other state is available, it'll switch to that state. So right here, switch is the parameter which is required, which is the command. Command is nothing but the functions which are given below. So in case 1, move forward is the forward function, because in the app I have done some modification. I'll explain it. And then it breaks if the case is if it is not this case, it changes to the next case. And then it goes, if it is the if I give something a value of 2, it'll go to move backward function. So the later on, case 3, case 4 and case 5 as the usual, and the default keeps it at stop motors, which is release and the break. So these are the functions: move forward and move backward, turn left, turn right, and stop motors. So here I've also used axial turns. You can either use radial turns or axial turns. Now, later on I'll explain the app of the mobile app, where I will be using the making the mobile app and how it is being made. Thank you. Now I'm going to show you how to make the app for the Bluetooth robot. This is the website I'm using is the MIT App Inventor, which is ai2.appinventor.edu. It's right here, and this is the normal screen as usual, which is the phone screen. You can also change the resolution by for the tablet mode or the monitor mode. This website was made by MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and this website is really useful for making mobile apps and Android apps easily. This website uses a similar uh, context of coding by using blocks, and these are the components of the mobile app which we'll be using right now. First, I will take a list picker, and I'll rename it as connect, and it will be renamed over here but not in the content of the list picker. Now if I go here and go to text, I can change it by typing connect, and if I hit enter, the text gets updated in the text, because I have rewritten the content of the list picker. Now you can even change the background color of the button by clicking on any of the colors, or you can choose a customized color over here. I'll be taking green right now for the connect button, and to align it to the center, I will go to the screen 1 and click on center, which is right here in align horizontal, and I will make the font bold and make the font size 20 pixels. Now after I have added this, I will go to the next component, which is a layout. So this is a layout. When you click on the layout, there will be many types of layout. One is horizontal arrangement, absolute arrangement, horizontal scroll arrangement, table arrangement, vertical arrangement, vertical scroll arrangement. So for this app we'll be using horizontal arrangement the most. So I'll move this here. So you can see it's nothing but a blank screen and even a blank item. Now no text, no color, nothing, just a gray color. So if you upload this to your phone, you won't see anything. It'll be a pure white screen. No, the horizontal arrangement won't be visible at all, but the spacing will be affected on the screen. So right now I'll change the width to, the width will be normal, and the height will be, let's say 5 pixels. Yeah, 5 pixels. And next I will add a new button right here, and this will be the forward button. And if I go here and change the text to forward, it gets changed. And this is just for temporary, because later on we'll be adding images, and this text will not be there anymore. Then I will change the height to 20%, the width to 30%, and it'll be a perfect square. And then I'll add one more layout, and this will also be 5%. I'll just leave it like that, because later on I will add one more layer, horizontal arrangement in between. So no need of adding anything. This will be just the usual, but only the width will be changed. I will keep it 100%, which is the full screen, and one more horizontal arrangement in between, and I'll change the height here for 5%. And then I'll bring one more button and add it here. So there'll be 3 buttons here. This will be left, and this will be stop, and this will be right. And then I will change the height for all of these to 20% and 30% of width. So this will happen because I have not set the horizontal arrangement to the actual size of these of the buttons. So I'll change the height to 20%, and you can see the button one is clearly seen. And I will change the height here also. So yeah, all the buttons are now set perfectly. And now I'll add one more horizontal arrangement layout, and this will also be 20%. Now you can see it's arranged right here. And finally I will add the second last component, there's one more component to add, which will be the first. So the second last component will be the backward button. Sorry, the horizontal arrangement should not be this much big. It should be 5%, because if we keep this much, the last button would not fit in the screen perfectly. So this is how the screen should be, the the layout should be. And now I will I'll make this rename this to back, which this button will take the robot backwards. This is for stopping the robot. This is for turning right. This is for turning left. And now if I change the the height percentage to 20%, the width to 30%. So now it's done, and I'll add one last component, which is a button right here, and the text, and this will be called as disconnect. So this button will just disconnect the your mobile from the Bluetooth module, or else it will be just connected forever. So now it's done, and the background color, I'll keep it as red, and I'll save it, font bold, and the font size shall be 20. And yeah, now it's done, and you can see that the disconnect button is little bit at the end of the screen. So I'll just go to this horizontal arrangement and change it to 3%, because the button is going out of the screen, and now it's perfectly fitting. Now if you want, you can, it's optional, you can make the align vertical to center. It'll just make no difference, but it'll just keep all the components at the center of the screen. So now it's time for adding the images for all these buttons. So I'll go to the forward button, and I will add the image and I'll upload the file. So now I have taken the image, and I click OK. You can see the arrows added perfectly, but the thing is that you can take a different image of the arrow, but I'll just remove the text for now. So the text is now gone, and now I'll add the next image. So now I'll go to the stop button and remove the text. I'll go to images and choose the file. Here's a stop button, and now it gets inserted right here. So now I'll go to the right and choose an image. And I'll remove the text. So once the text gets removed, it's gone. And I'll add one more image for the back button. So now you can see it's got set, and then later on between the between the buttons I should add a vertical arrangement, and this width will be 5%. The reason I'm adding this is because if I don't put the vertical arrangement, the images might be slightly overlapping on each other, and if you don't add these, the images may look awkward and the app might be looking weird. And the last and the most important component is, if you go to connectivity section, you can see there's a Bluetooth client. So if I drag and drop the Bluetooth client, you can see that it won't be anywhere on the screen, but it will be at the bottom as a non-visible component. So now everything is ready, and now we'll go to the code part. So right now I'm in the code, and now I'll go to the connect button, and I'll drag this when connect dot before picking. Do the next I'll add a new command, which will be and it should be and then I'll go to Bluetooth client, and I'll drag this block so that you can now see all the components of the before picking. But it should not be selection will be for after picking, so it should be elements for right now. And then I'll go back to connect section, and I'll drag the after clicking button, and then I'll go here, and then I'll change this to selection, and I'll go back to Bluetooth client. In Bluetooth client, I will take the component which is called connect address, and in connect I'll go back and drop it here. So now the connect part is done, and now I'll go to the disconnect part. So disconnect is just a button. So now I'll go to Bluetooth client and call Bluetooth client.disconnect. So it's just nothing but if I click the disconnect button, the Bluetooth client disconnects from the device. Now it's time for the motions. So now for the forward button, I'll just collapse these buttons for now. So for the forward button, I will just go to Bluetooth client now, and then go to send 1 byte number. So it'll send 1 byte of number, which is a number signal. So if when the Bluetooth module receives the number signal, it sends the Arduino the message, and just like in the code I showed, it will perform that command. So now I'll drag this inside this and keep it as 1, because for the forward it was 1, and for, so just nothing but this much, nothing else, and I'll just duplicate these blocks and I'll change it to back and send the message as to left will send a message of 3 and right will send a message of 4 and back will send a message of 5. So these all blocks send a message of a 1 byte number which will be received to the Bluetooth module in the car, and once it receives it will perform that specific motion. So now the code is complete, and now if you go back here and if you click on build, you should click on the Android app dot apk. If you're using an iOS, you can use this, and click this. It'll be compiling. It'll take some time though. So after compiling, right now you can see the Android app for robot, which is right now the project name. You can either download the APK and send it to your mobile by Bluetooth or by using your cable, USB cable, but I would prefer you to scan the QR code and download the app from the QR code. So after scanning the QR code, you should receive the you should be able to download it. There'll be some checks in the Google Play Store if you're using Google. For Apple iOS, I don't know. So after it gets downloaded, you should I'll explain how to do next. So now later on I'll explain how to connect the Bluetooth module to your phone. Thank you. So guys, I've installed the app onto the phone, and right now it is normal usual. So if I go to the connect button, connect list picker, you'll see the list of Bluetooth devices available, and if you click on HC-05, it gets connected. So the HC-05 should stop blinking, and once it stops blinking, it will start blinking slowly. So there was a slight error in the code in the block section. In the connect dot list picker, after picking, it was at the end, it was not supposed to be connect dot elements, it was supposed to be connect dot selection. So my bad guys, and I'm sorry for the mistake. And now if I click on the forward button, it will move in the forward direction, and if I click on the stop button, the robot will stop moving. So there's a quite a lot of power in the robot. So if I click on the rotate, it rotates, and if I click on stop, it stops. So if I click on left, it rotates, and if I click on stop, it stops. If I click on backwards, it moves backwards. So now to disconnect the robot, I can click on the disconnect. So once it gets disconnected, you should see it blinking as usual, the faster way. And you can also make a few upgrades to this robot, like adding multiple sensors and making it work like a rover, and make it work in different manner. So thank you, and later on I'll explain more about the robotics of the and more on the Bluetooth module. Thank you.